Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're listening to That Infernal Noise, now part of the Mental Health News Radio Network.
Devil, not no more for these, you call me Ichigo. Now I let my aura grow as I pull my Zanpakuto. Let me introduce you, his name is Angetsu. Well, he will only live if and when we let you. Been through a lot of things, killed oh so many hollows. Didn't know at first which path was the right to follow. I don't fight cause I want to win, I fight cause I have to. I will take my spirit energy and aim it right back at you. Fighting a nigga be Yakuya taught me a lot of things, like how to channel and harness all my hate and rage in the form of a bankai. I don't understand why I'm the only one fighting, all the others stand by. I'm not such a saint, I promise that I'll risk my life for strangers. Neither am I scum enough to sit back while they're in danger. Everyone looking at me like I'm a superhero, like this is the Matrix and I'm playing Neo. But I'll see my duty through. What the fuck else would I do? Just let it all rot or leave it up to Udi. You a fuck all that now, cause I'm the one in full control. That is until the hollow takes control over my soul. I'm a fucking anime kid. 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 And if you don't like it, shut the motherfucker up.
Hello, friends and neighbors. I don't know why I decided to say friends and neighbors. We rarely talk to our neighbors, and we don't have a lot of friends. But it is what it is. We have another go-round with, we woke up, we're here, we're good, for the most part. How are you feeling?
Still gone. Like, I haven't felt right since Saturday. Yesterday was a goddamn blur.
I figured yesterday was not a good day to really try to do anything for anything like major. Do you want to kind of go into more of why the past 2 days have been kind of a blur? Anything like that?
I mean, it started with a goddamn edible. I don't see how it was able to interact with me at that period, because it was about 6 hours difference. So I don't think it was that necessarily. Like, I had a fucking full-blown panic attack. I was trying to hold on to reality. Like, I felt like I was physically and emotionally and mentally trying to hang on to reality, because I lost it. Like, my heart rate increased. I threw up. Like, it was bad.
Do you think it was more so the edible or just general anxiety about things that are going on? Or, I mean...
I don't think it had anything to do with the edible. It wasn't even fucking THC. It was CBD.
It was.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, because the CBD ones do not hit me like that.
Usually, no, they don't.
I've had several, and they have never done anything close to that. The only time that it's come close to that is whenever I was on mushrooms younger, acid younger, or had entirely too much pot. And none of those things happen.
Right.
So, I don't know what the fuck it was.
Now, with CBD versus THC, I know that there's differences, cannabinoids, there's a wide variety of everything. Do you think it was... Because I know that it was an extended period of time from when you took it to when...
It was about 6 hours. Five at the least, 6 at the most.
Yeah.
That's not how things interact with me.
Fair.
It's 2 hours max, and I'm there.
Very fair. This is
And
true.
I know it. It's like clockwork. I can set my fucking watch by it. It always has been. I know. I have like benchmarks in my head, and I know what time I'm supposed to be hitting all of them.
Give or take.
Give or take 20,
yeah.
20 minutes at most.
Yeah.
Because I might forget what time I take it or what the fuck ever. So I'm off in that sense. But it doesn't make sense. Like, I lost my shit. I completely lost it. I was seeing dead people. Like, I was hearing voices. I was literally hearing disembodied voices, and they were all different. There was higher pitch, there was some more maniacal sounding, there was some darker sounding, there were some heavier. None of them were fucking comforting.
Okay, I know that we usually, especially you, compare things to like Star Wars. Was it more in the vein of when Kylo's on Exegol and he hears all of...
It was way more chaotic than that. So much more chaotic than that. I felt like I was vibrating on top of hearing all of this shit going through my head nonstop. And it was like I was hearing them overlapping, but I could still hear them all at the same time. I could understand what they were fucking saying.
Yeah.
And like I've experienced a lot. I've been through a lot whenever it comes to drugs, panic attacks, anxiety, all of that shit. And I have never touched anything like that in my life.
And that's why I was kind of like shocked when it all happened, because it was just like, it's CBD.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There was no catalyst for it.
Now, I know that it started after you took an edible, and do you think that there were other... Because I know that you more so than me, but, you know, me getting more interested into the woo-woo and, you know, things like that. What do you think that it lowered... not the veil. I don't want to use that word. But do you think it like lower or like relaxed your body enough for other...
I feel that all the time. I feel that connection to whatever the fuck else is out there all the time. I explain it to you all the time. And I explained it the same way. It's just, for some reason, everything was there all at once. And I couldn't focus on anything, and I couldn't shut any of it off. Usually I can focus on something, and it just helps me focus on the one thing. Like, okay, pay attention to this, and then I can pay attention to that and sort it, and then move to the next thing, to the next thing. I was not able to do that.
Right.
Everything was literally happening all at fucking once, and I felt it all at fucking once. I felt shit that I shouldn't have been able to feel.
What, like...
Like, physically, my body was feeling the emotions that you felt whenever all of this shit was going on. And I started fucking crying. I started crying because I felt it as you.
And that's an experience that...
And this is what? 5 years later? 6 years later? Whatever the fuck it was? How long have Mandy and Gabriel been married? Because it was the weekend before they got married.
I want to say 5 years.
Like, that was the night that I kept going back to. It was that night. It was the Yellow Wolf night. And there was a couple others mixed in there, but I can't remember. Those two I remember specifically because those were the bookends.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, those were the end-alls. Should have been.
Yeah.
So those are the two that I came back to for whatever fucking reason. Then it was like, and it's not the first time shit like that's happened necessarily.
Correct. And there have been, I don't want to call them weird,
It's
but more complex instances.
Shit that I wasn't a part of, that I was able to feel.
Right.
And
I recall back to the loft.
that's
and I
the
know a
one
lot,
that I
like,
thought of too.
people who are listening are like, what the fuck are they talking about? You and I have been intertwined.
We've had this weird fucking connection since day one, and it's...
Well, not kind of since day one, but most.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, for all intents and purposes, from day one. It was like almost as soon as we met each other, we ended up with this fucking weird kinship, and then it obviously turned into what it turned into.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. And that's just from the extremely tame side that I was on, because I was on the outside of it. I wasn't, obviously, we didn't share. It wasn't like a shared experience. Oh, excuse me.
But it was, because the things that I said made sense to you.
Agreed.
And you started crying in that situation because you realized that it wasn't just in your head, that I somehow saw some of the shit. And I explained it to you in great detail.
You did.
And I know that makes me sound however the fuck it makes me sound, and everybody will call bullshit. And
But it's
9 times
only...
out of 10, I call bullshit on it because
Yeah.
I don't believe people whenever they say shit like that.
It's only crazy if it didn't happen.
But how did it happen? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, I don't get it. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense, but I know it fucking happened.
It did. Because you said something to me that was very personal. And I am talking about this most recent time that something like this has happened. It was, and it's not, and I don't want anybody to think that it was like we had like an argument or there was nothing. Everything was fine. Everything was good.
You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. It's not, it doesn't hurt me.
Well, I know it doesn't hurt you, but, you know.
I'd rather get it all out.
But, you know, you just said something to me and apologized for things you've said, things you've done, situations we've been in. Because...
Do you know why I did that? Because I felt like I was about to die, and I wasn't going to regret
not
saying something to you. Because I legitimately felt like I was going to fucking die. That's how hard I was holding on to reality.
And I smile not because...
I didn't want to say it at the time because I didn't want to freak you the fuck out.
Well, yeah, no, I completely understand. I smile because I don't handle uncomfortable feelings very well. So my go-to is a smile. So I just want to let you know that I'm not smiling at your pain. I do a lot of things so I don't cry. But it does mean a lot, and I so very much do not like the fact that you were feeling that way, and obviously there was nothing I could do about it. There, like, literally, there was... It's not like I could, like, say some magic words and everything, you know, help you feel better, or... especially in that situation, because it was like you were just falling down a hole.
It felt like the exact opposite of what everybody describes a DMT trip as. Because everybody talks about the getting shot out of the cannon or whatever into the center of the universe or what the fuck ever. It felt the exact opposite. It felt like I was slowly falling into oblivion.
Like quicksand, kind of?
It wasn't even that nice.
Oh.
It was more panic-inducing than that, because there was nothing and everything at the exact same time. I felt completely alone, completely isolated, but I kept feeling and seeing all of this shit. Like, I saw fucking Rusty. Of all fucking people, for some reason, I saw Rusty.
And that's even
And that's when I
that
was
whole
like, I have to
situation.
fucking shake this shit. I have to fucking shake this shit because it's so fucking random.
because you saw someone just
I hadn't seen him in fucking 20 years, and
Yeah.
he died not that long ago, and for some reason I saw him.
yeah,
And it scared the unholy fuck out of me.
which
And I don't get scared about fucking anything. It's very, very seldom that I am legitimately terrified to my core, like
Yes.
a child. And I was shaking. I was so fucking scared.
you were.
And I just kept thinking about Kev. I was like, this is it. This is exactly what the fuck he was feeling right before. And then that fucking killed me in and of itself. It's like he felt alone. And all of this is happening in milliseconds. Every single bit of it. Like, I know I've had supernatural experiences or paranormal experiences, and I told you Saturday, I don't know how much of it I made up at this point. I don't think I did, but I don't fucking know. I don't know what reality is anymore.
And that I don't see.
Like, I'm having to convince myself that all of this is real right now. And I've been having to do that since Saturday. Like, trying to hold on and just like, no, this is fucking reality. This is reality. You're not going to wake up in a fucking hospital bed. You're not going to whatever. Billion different fucking thoughts.
Yeah, because and you and I have had conversations like that before.
Yeah,
where
but
it's
thinking it intrusively and knowing it at your core,
two totally different things.
like, regardless if it's real or not, my body and everything thought it was real. Thought that this was all just some fucking construct of my own making. That I'm in a coma somewhere. And that I could hear people talking to me telling me not to go. And that is fucking terrifying.
I can't even begin to imagine, because while I do have severe anxiety, and I've had many opportunities to like take edibles and I really, the more we talk about it, the less I think that chemically there was anything. Well, maybe.
There was something chemically fucked with me. I don't know what the fuck it was. It doesn't make sense that it could have been the edible.
Yeah.
Because I've taken way more than that.
Right. And you took one the night before, the
And
same
it did
thing.
nothing.
Right.
And we stayed up we stayed up later.
Yeah, I
was
believe so.
fine. There was nothing. I
Right.
was chilling. We were watching fucking TV and just acting stupid like we normally do.
Do you think the show we have been watching, not made you hallucinate? Because I know that's not what.
Why
the
didn't it do
case
it the
is.
first night?
Exactly.
Why didn't it do it
Was
on
it like
any of
do you think it
my
might have been a
other edibles?
stockpile, like just more stuff? I'm just trying to like see if we could, and I know that we probably won't, but opening up more avenues of possibilities of maybe, I hate to use the cup analogy because everybody's like, oh, you can't serve from an empty cup. So I don't like to use a cup analogy, but something like that where it's like, okay, your body can only handle this much shit, and you fill it up, and then
But see, I've been letting everything out, though. As far as I know, I've been letting everything out. I've been talking. I've been
have.
communicating about whenever I've had reservations about shit or whatever. I'll
Right.
be honest. I'll be supportive, obviously, but
Right.
I'm still expressing all that. So where the fuck did all that come from? You see my point?
Yeah, I do. And that's why all of this is very...
In the moment, I was like, well, maybe I haven't been. Maybe I've been holding on to everything and da-da-da-da-da. And the more I think about it logically, coming back down to reality, I haven't been doing that. I haven't been holding on to anything.
I mean, I know that...
I tell you whenever I have intrusive thoughts or things that bother me or if I get worried about something or what the fuck ever, I tell you.
Yes.
So
you actually make it a point to do so.
It can't be that.
Yeah.
Not anymore. If it was before and this happened, 100%. Okay, I'm holding on to shit. I'm not expressing it. Fine. But I've made so much fucking progress. I don't see how that's possible now. Because I have taken the steps to be able to communicate and not necessarily feel comfortable doing it, but knowing I have to do it and do it.
Yeah, because even more so now, if you wake up feeling some kind of way...
I tell you immediately.
Yeah,
like,
you may wait...
I'm in a mood right now. Just, everything's cool. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling it today or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's even very seldom now. I used to wake up in a shit mood every single day, and I don't anymore.
Correct. You don't. I don't know. It was probably scary for you. And it wasn't necessarily scary for me to watch. It was because scary isn't, I knew that there was no like imminent danger. Because I was on one side of it and you were on a, yeah.
My heart rate kept going up for some fucking reason. And I wasn't hyperventilating. I was trying to control my breath. I was trying to,
you were.
I was actively trying to calm my shit down, and I couldn't do it. And that is not the case for me. Usually, I can stop, and I can just control it.
Right.
And I couldn't for some reason.
No.
Which is what concerned me even more. Because it felt like I was going to have a heart attack or a stroke or fucking something. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. Like, you might have been scared, which is completely understandable, especially from everything you've described. But on my side, it wasn't scary. It still wasn't like a positive time. It wasn't like a positive interaction because... And it wasn't detrimental to us individually or a couple or anything like that. It was just an odd experience because it
kicked out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
I was watching goddamn wrestling like I always do on Saturday.
And you got up, turned off the TV,
I realized that I was going in and out of fucking reality.
Yeah.
Watching wrestling.
Right.
And if anything was going to fucking tether me to the world,
it
would be wrestling, Star Wars, or you. And you were the only saving grace in all of that because I couldn't fucking watch wrestling.
Yeah, you didn't want sound. You barely wanted, or you wanted light. Oh, I keep on kicking the camera.
I wanted light because I felt
that if you went,
it was dark. I felt like everything around me felt dark. And while I was in the shower, it felt like, because I obviously took a shower to try to ground myself, I could feel like a light like that over here. And
where the light
the spotlight would be
in the shower?
Our shower.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking work. I felt a light, and for some reason I wouldn't let myself look at it. Like I was trying to, and my body wouldn't let me do it. But I felt it, and I knew just inherently if I looked at it, nothing good was going to happen. Like I was terrified to look at it, but I was trying to look at it. Which concerns me even more. Especially with seeing the dead fucking people and all of that fucking shit.
Yeah. That can't be comforting.
And it wasn't like they came to me and were talking to me. It was like I was seeing them standing around in like this weird void.
More so in the Insidious vein, where it was What was it? The further?
More disembodied, but not like a flat plane.
Okay.
Like 3D space, but that same vibe. Yes. And they didn't look weird. Like, it wasn't like they looked
Ethereal or
decrepit
anything?
or ethereal or anything like that. It was,
Just them.
they look like how I remembered them. And Rusty's the only one that sticks out, but I know I saw more
People.
than that. For some reason, Rusty sticks in my head.
And you know me. I'm one of the biggest skeptics of anything, and you always give me shit for it because I've seen shit happen.
I know you have,
The
because
whole-
I was there with you.
The whole lighter flying off the bookshelf, and we all watched it, and no one was like that. In and of itself, that is just one out of so many. Sorry for the dogs barking. So many instances that have happened that I've been a part of, and I still struggle with really getting into, especially anything like supernatural, paranormal. But this was a different, and now hearing more, because we did talk about it, and we have talked a little bit about it, and especially
I haven't been able to wrap my fucking head around it.
This was different to see, different to just different to experience. So do you think this was more of a supernatural or paranormal experience over?
I have no clue. Usually I'm well aware of that. You know that. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
I got no fucking clue. I don't know if it was a near-death experience. I don't know if it was an out-of-body experience. I don't know if I was just going fucking insane, hallucinating. I don't know if it was a panic attack. I don't know what it was. It felt like all of the above.
That's
At the exact same fucking time. And I couldn't make heads or tails of it in the moment, obviously.
Yeah,
You saw
you
how
really
I
couldn't.
was trying my hardest to figure it out, and I couldn't.
yeah.
And
It
that's
was
saying something for me, because I can figure out fucking everything. And
Yeah.
I'm not tooting my own horn. It's just, for some reason, I can break shit down to the lowest possible common denominator and figure out what the fuck's going on.
my thing is that in situations where it's like a danger thing, you are the grounded one.
I'm the one that gets shit done in those moments. I'm
Yeah.
the one that gets everybody to focus. Okay, we need to do this. We need to do this. Everything's fine. We'll get it handled. We'll panic later.
Yeah, because in situations like that, if I hear tones of your voice, I know,
You know,
okay,
stop asking questions. Just do what the fuck he's telling you.
yeah,
And I don't say that to demean you. I'm
No, of
saying
course
that
not.
you know that I've kicked into something else, and pay the fuck attention.
yeah, and usually in even if you're in a situation like mentally where you're like, I'm not sure what's going on, you usually tend to still stay not grounded necessarily, but I guess focused on the fact that everything is still semi okay. And
I couldn't focus on that.
to see you unnerved is a newer
I'm
or
not
infrequent.
that guy.
Yeah,
I am not
It's
unnerved.
infrequent.
Like, it is hard to fucking rock me. It is hard to shake me. I don't know if that's a combination of all the shit that I've seen drug-wise, meditative-wise, plus all the shit I've been through in the course of my life.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't get shook.
No, you don't.
And I was fucked.
Yeah, because there was a while there where it was like you couldn't sit.
I couldn't sit still. Like, I felt like I wasn't in my body, but I couldn't keep my body still at the same time.
Yeah, it was
It
very.
was the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah, it was because I could see the panic, and I don't usually see panic,
Even when I have been panicking, you didn't see the panic because I'm able to keep a lid on it and focus to get whatever done.
And then
then I'll let myself out.
Right. But like, especially in the heightened part of it, it was just like,
Which lasted for 2 fucking hours after the onset.
which should not have happened.
That's my point.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know if it was a spiritual experience.
God dang it.
It might have been. I don't know. Because there was something. I know there was something there. I don't know what the fuck it was. And I told you, it was like, there's more people up here than I thought.
Yes, you did tell me that. You did.
Because there was so many different fucking voices going on at the same time.
Do you think it was an experience that needed to happen?
I don't know. If I never have to go through it again, it'll be too soon.
Fair.
And I don't say that about shit like that.
Oh, I know you don't. Because usually
I enjoy feeling connected to something, usually.
Yes, you do.
That scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah. And I don't want to see you go through that again. So whatever.
And I'm not saying, I haven't had sort of similar experiences getting too fucking baked or what the fuck ever where you start freaking out. I've done that. You've seen me do it. Did that look the same?
No.
Everybody thought I was pissed the last time. And I wasn't. I was trying to fucking not lose my shit.
There was one other time, but there were other things at play as well. Because our relationship wasn't at the level it is now. And I know that you had been holding on to
literally everything.
Yeah. So there was one other time that...
And that wasn't drug-induced.
That one might have been. I remember I had to put a cold washcloth on your head and your neck because you said that you were not feeling correct.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just too big that time. I know that's what it was.
Yeah, but there were other things at play there as well. So... While I do not want you to have to go through that again, ever, and, I can't say if anything good. Actually, I can say that at least one good thing came out of it is I know that you've apologized before, just as a general apology. The apology on Saturday was different.
I'm not lying whenever I say I felt it. I felt every fucking bit of it from your perspective, not mine, because I know I was there.
Yeah, you were.
I felt it from your perspective and how much it hurt. Like, my heart broke. And, yeah, we've had those weird connections in the past where it's off and on, but it was another fucking level of shit that I didn't know was possible. And for me to not know something like that's possible.
That's fair. Because
I believe in fucking everything.
Yeah, and I
believe in any possible thing.
Yeah, and you're very always in the know of new experiences. Not that you necessarily have experienced them, but
I look into it. I research them. I find them fascinating because I don't understand this human condition any more than anybody fucking else does. I love hearing other people's takes on it.
That reminds me, not too long ago, I was about to say the other day, but it could have been like a month ago. I don't know. But I remember you were like, oh, I just went down this rabbit hole of near-death experiences. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I've been listening to...
I find them fascinating.
Yeah.
And looking into a couple of them, they were legit.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Now, if that is the case, or if it was a glimpse or anything like that into another realm, dimension, whatever word we're going to use right there, do you think that steps of some sort need to be taken?
I have no idea where to go from here. I told you that yesterday. I have no idea where to go.
No more insight or clarification?
Because it felt like on the back end, whenever I started coming to, that's when I started seeing the geometric patterns. It wasn't at the front end. It was at the back end.
And then I remember you saying that you felt like you blew out your third eye.
That was the next day. I woke up feeling fucking hungover
Because it would be the pineal gland.
It was right there, but I felt it inside, and it felt sore.
Because that's where it is,
Drained.
right? It's
Yes.
like here or whatever.
It's supposed to be like right, like where that dip is. It's supposed to be back.
Oh, okay. I'm over here
And
touching my forehead.
It, like, I've felt that sensation before, but never after something like that. Like, it felt drained. It felt atrophied. It felt like dried. Like it was dried out. Like how I felt being hungover after going binge drinking, how your brain feels dry.
Yeah. Ooh, I
It
don't
felt
miss
like
that.
that, but it was just in the one spot. It wasn't the rest of my brain.
I wonder if there's a connection to, or if there's anything on.
I don't know, but I'm going to fucking look it up this week.
I know you are. I know you are. I'm surprised you haven't done it. Well, I know yesterday wasn't.
I haven't been
had
in
the
a
capacity
place to do that, and
Yeah.
I'm still not. Like, I'm still reeling from that.
Yeah. And
Because
nothing.
I don't. I've had a lot of life-changing experiences. A lot. Like, where I just gained this weird perspective or perception that I
Yeah.
didn't have before, or what the fuck ever. And I like to take credit that happens to me more often than most people because I get a lot out of very little. Just in
That's fair.
general. Like, all I need is
That's fair.
a fucking
Hint. Just a push in the right direction.
just a piece of bread, and I can taste the whole fucking loaf kind of thing.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I guess, yeah, because you taste
It's all made out
it's
of the same
fucking
thing.
But you know what I mean in that situation. It's like,
Sorry.
I know that this little part is part of the bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I can visualize that in my head.
Yeah.
And this was something that I've never fucking touched on before.
And it's so weird that this happened because, and I just thought of this and I don't know why. It just popped in my head the other day, you know, because I've been going through whatever mental
different
shit. Yeah.
But same shit.
Yeah. And the other day it was after you and I had a conversation. It might have been Friday. I don't remember. But it was, the thing in my head was, and this is going to be very niche. I was like, you know, other people get life-changing experiences, life-changing situations, things that happen in their brain, and it clicks and something
just
happens.
For whatever reason, you get it.
And I was telling myself the other day that I'm going to have to force myself to do the things, whatever the things are, because I've never been that person. I've never been that person where it's like something happens, something clicks, and then like a situation happens, and then I have this like.
But you expect it to be more grandiose, I think.
Yeah, and then you get the I mean, not saying I want a fucking meltdown.
I don't know if I'd be able to handle you doing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know exactly what it feels like, and knowing my luck with my fucking empathy, it'll send me right fucking back
Just
to
dive
it.
right back in. So I think
Because I've had drug flashbacks and shit like that, where you're just sitting there and all of a sudden something triggers something, and then you're just like fucking fried all over again. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
I've heard of that, especially with
It's
like
a
LSD.
thing. It's a thing because I was walking to school one day. I want to say it was senior year, one of them.
I was about to say first or second.
I think it was the first one because I was still going into school, and I was walking with my homeboy Al, and I didn't talk to him the back half. Look, we lost contact. Rightfully so. He was a dick, but that's a whole nother story. But it was fall, and I looked down, and I saw just this certain pattern of leaves and colors, and it just fucking
Launched you.
and I was gone.
Now
Because we skipped first and second, we went to lunch, and I was losing my shit at lunch.
Oh.
Because of all of that. Like, we were walking to lunch, from
wherever you were prior to.
We were probably at Gabriel's, I guess. And I just fucking, and I was fried, and I was just sitting there trying to hold it the fuck together, and it was like, this feels fucking weird. Because I didn't do anything.
Like, I know with, like, LSD, and I don't know if this is, because I've never done it, and I don't know if it's factual or if it's, like, urban legend, that it stays in your spinal fluid.
Supposedly that's true. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never had a spinal tap done, so I don't fucking know, and I don't want to have a spinal tap done.
As someone who's had an epidural, and that's not exactly a spinal tap, fucking...
Same principle.
No. I don't blame you. That shit is scary. But
so that's only happened, I think, maybe one other time.
Yeah.
So
do you think it might have been in that same kind of vein where it triggered something and
what
shot
the fuck
you?
would it have triggered? I've never had an experience like that because the patterns and the colors that I saw reminded me of something, and it clicked.
Okay.
And that's what sent me back.
That first time.
There was nothing.
On Saturday.
I was sitting there, and I was trying to read something, and then I realized I couldn't fucking read it. And that's when I noticed that somehow I had gone out of focus.
Like you have.
Me physically and me here.
Mentally, yeah.
I went completely out of focus, and everything was just everywhere. I don't know how to explain it beyond that. I really don't. Because I could see what was going on, but I couldn't comprehend it.
Okay, that I can kind of...
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
I have been baked out of my fucking gourd. I have been
Fair.
on fucking mushrooms. I have been on LSD. I've been on all manner of fucked up psychedelic shit. And I can still focus enough on whatever it is. And I could not.
Yeah.
I physically had to get up and try to do something else.
Yeah, because that's when you got up to take a shower.
Because I got insanely uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
It just... I don't know.
Now, I know that you and I have already talked about this, but I know that you are planning on taking at least a small break from...
I don't want to fucking do anything right now.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Like, and I'm being dead serious.
Oh, I know.
Like, and I've been on the medical marijuana fucking train for a minute now, where it's just like, no, it's a medicine, and it does its job, and I feel great on it, but I'm deathly afraid of having that experience again right now.
And that's
like
very reasonable and very understandable.
Like I don't get scared. I know I said that already, but I don't get fucking scared.
Yeah.
And I'm residually terrified right now. Like, I don't want to do it. And I know yesterday I made the joke, oh, give me 3 of them. But that was 100% fucking bravado and me fucking thumping my chest. I was, even if you had said okay and went like that, I would have fucking looked at you and been like, you're fucking crazy, and walked away. Like, I was joking.
I knew. I thought about just throwing the bag at you and be like, eat up, champ.
Take what you want.
But I knew you weren't going to do that. Now, obviously, there was a lot of negative.
It was nothing but negative. And that doesn't usually happen for me either.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
usually there's some kind of light, there's some kind of positive, there's...
Yeah. So there's zero positive takeaway from your experience.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, but it's retroactive. It wasn't in the moment. Like, in the moment, there was no good.
Well, okay, that I can understand because it had to be.
But now it's like
very overwhelming.
I have this, and I've told you about this before whenever I've had epiphanous moments, where you have this odd clarity.
Yes.
And you just see things from a different perspective from that point on. And that's kind of where I am now. Because I was having the thought in the shower just now, like, what if I am in a coma and I've just made all this up? But the thought didn't scare me. The thought was, well, then fuck it. What do you have to lose?
That's
Like, why can't you do all the shit that you've been talking about and make your own fucking reality?
that make it all just go for it.
Because you don't have anything to lose. This isn't real anyway, so what fucking difference does it make? And then what's real?
Because
Because if we just cease existing, like, and
Yeah.
that's ultimately what happens, we just cease existing in this physical plane, what fucking difference does anything we do make?
and
And I don't mean that in the nihilistic sense. I mean that in
why not go
why
and
not
try?
go for the big dreams you have?
Yeah.
Why not try to do everything that your heart desires? Because if you don't, what?
Right.
And I've had a lot of experiences in my life. I've had a lot of cool experiences because I just took the fucking chance.
Right.
And now I think I'm terrified of it. And I think that's what made me realize that I'm actually scared of doing this, of anything.
Trying. Maybe that
Because
was,
I feel like I failed so much.
and
and-
that one
but-
I
but
can
then-
rate, or I can
But
go along
looking
with
back at it, it wasn't failure. It was me just giving up. It's not the same thing. Because, say what you will about the music shit, I had a monicum of success. I was getting on shows. Like, it wasn't big shit by any stretch of the imagination.
But you got to meet a lot of cool people.
I got to hang out with people that I never thought I would. I
Yeah.
got to meet and have conversations with them that I never thought I would.
and especially people that you had listened to and admired prior
Like
to.
on a personal level,
Yeah.
that shit that actually resonated
And the
with
cool
me.
thing is that you still talk to them.
Some of them.
Yeah, not all of them, but
regardless, like, I had that experience because I didn't give a fuck at that point.
Yeah.
I legitimately did not care. I wasn't afraid of fucking anything. And now it seems like subconsciously I am afraid of it. And I don't know why.
do you think that might be the cosmic takeaway? Is that you had fear built up and your body was like, we don't have time for
But
fear?
why the fuck wouldn't I just let it out? Why wouldn't I just let myself be scared? I let myself feel every other emotion in the fucking spectrum. Why would I push fear out? Because I let myself cry. I let positive emotions turn into tears, which
Yes.
is not something I would let myself do before.
Correct.
I wouldn't let anything turn into fucking tears.
No.
And now I can feel all of it. So why, like, how did I push out the fear?
Or maybe it was just something that was like a mile marker where you're like, stay here.
But I don't feel like that's what it was. Because I've felt those before.
Right.
And I've told you, it feels like checkpoints.
Yeah. And maybe this is not all checkpoints have to be the same. Maybe.
I'm not saying not all of them have felt the same, but this did
Fair.
not feel like that.
You know me, I try to find.
I don't know how to explain it. I know how to
Yeah.
explain everything, and I don't know how to fucking explain it. Like, I can figure out words for fucking just about anything. Anything that I'm into, anything that I've experienced, I can go into great detail and make people feel and understand what I am talking about.
Correct.
I don't know why. I've just always had that ability. I don't know how to get this across with the same gravitas that it deserves.
Fair.
Because, you know, everybody talks about these earth-shattering, soul-shaking experiences,
Yeah.
and I thought I had had those before.
I know I have not had those before.
But then I had that one, and it was
Completely different.
like a firecracker going off compared to a nuke. That's the best way I can explain
Oh,
it.
wow.
Because it's like you can hold the firecracker and it explode in your hand, and you're like, oh, that kind of hurt, but it's fine.
Yeah. There's going to
This
be
was-
damage, but not a lot.
Seeing the nuke explode 20 yards from you, and then getting stuck in the backlash the entire time, where it's just that same intensity, that same heat. Well, not heat, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
the same principle. It's the same
Full force.
violent, full force energy
Yeah.
over and over again, apparently for 2.5 hours. that doesn't make sense again. But
Yeah. It was I know you and I obviously have completely different takeaways from that experience because you were experiencing it and I was experiencing you experiencing it. So it's
and you could tell something was fucking wrong.
yeah. Cuz usually if something like that happens, I'll just,
Leave him alone. He'll be all right.
all right, let's
And I couldn't
chill.
handle that.
No.
I couldn't handle
The
being
minute
alone.
you got up randomly and turned off the TV and was like, I'm going to lay down, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then you said, I'm starting to freak out. And then I was like, okay. So but then I saw the look on your face as you were like turning to go. You had like already turned off the TV and you had like turned to put the remote down or something. I don't remember what it was. And you're like, I don't remember exactly what you said, but it was something along the lines of like, no, I'm freaking the fuck out. And I was like, oh, gotcha. And I went and I just grabbed your cup and my bottle or my cup of water. I threw your stuff away because I knew just in that small interaction that things were about to get
Worse before they got better.
I didn't know to what degree, but I knew that you were serious and that you were feeling some kind of way and that I needed to be there just in case you needed me, even if you didn't want, not that you wouldn't have wanted my company, but I know that sometimes you're like, okay, I need to be in my own bubble for a second. It's not you. I just need some space. And it was very much not like that. And I knew that I needed to just sit next to you. And if sitting next to you was all I could do, then that's what I was going to do. Of course, I did the normal, do you need water? Do you need a snack? Do you need a hug? Do you want to be touched? Do you not want to be touched? Very...
And it kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. That's what was really weird, because usually there is a consistent thing.
Yeah, because there are some times where you do just want to be held and, like, you need that security and that
and that
pressure,
was fine
that
for
pressure on your body.
moments at a time. But then that constant carousel kept going, and it was just like, nope, I got to get up. Nope, I can't do that. I can't do... Like...
It was very odd.
I've never felt that chaotic in my life. And I say that being the teenager that was looking to start shit.
Wow.
I have never felt that chaotic in my life.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't know what side was up. I didn't know... I legitimately lost my grip on reality. And I had the thought, I was like, well, maybe this is how the homeless people fucking start. And then that, of course, sent me into a fucking tailspin in and of itself. I'm like, great. Like, what if this is the shit that those people are seeing? And they're experiencing this all the time. And they have nobody.
Yeah.
It just, that created a whole nother fucking thing where it's just like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah. Are there any other positive takeaways outside of, saying fuck it to doubt of any form, self-doubt?
No, I feel... I was kind of explaining this last week, before all this shit happened on Saturday, where I feel connected but disconnected. And it's not necessarily in a bad way.
So less apathy.
It's not apathy at all. It's... I guess it's this could go away at any moment. And I'm kind of okay with that. Like, and I don't mean like dying or anything. I mean, like, the kids could decide they don't want to talk to me anymore.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I hope it doesn't happen either, but if that did happen, I know that I'm smart enough to take responsibility for myself and be like, okay, this means I did something that they don't appreciate, and they are well within their rights to do this.
Right. I think we've done a good job, though, of telling...
Well, I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
That's not an actual fear that I have anymore, luckily. But it's shit like that, where it's like, I don't want to lose you. And God help me if I do, but I'd like to think that I could make it through that now. Whereas everything before you seemed like it's the end of the world. And I'm not saying it like you're dispensable or anything like that. I'm saying it in the aspect that I guess you've helped me grow so much that I understand that whatever happens, happens.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I like that.
And that's why I say I feel disconnected, because I feel like I shouldn't feel that way, where where everything is so not disposable, but so fluid that it can go away and I'm fine with it. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be fine with that.
But I also understand
But I also
what you
feel
mean.
the connection still. It's like I still am madly in love with you. The kids fucking make me smile every fucking time, even when they're annoying the shit out of me, like Kaylee this morning, motherfucker. I called her. I went in the kitchen after she got done, and I was just like, motherfucker. The goddamn
Cabinets were
was
open
again. And I was like, Kaylee. And she had her headphones in, so she couldn't hear me. So I walked over there. I was like, bring your ass. And she was like, what? And she just looked at me. She was like, oh, I know what it is. And then immediately starts fucking laughing.
She did that shit on purpose, didn't
No,
she?
she didn't. She didn't do it on purpose. She was
Okay.
like, next time I'm going to open up all of them. I was like, no, because then you're doing it on fucking purpose. And she's just fucking dying laughing because she thinks it's funny. But shit like that, like, I still connect with that. It still makes me happy. It still resonates with me. So it's not apathy. Because I know what my apathy feels like. And my apathy would watch the fucking world burn.
That's fair.
And I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite, actually. Like, whenever I thought I was about to fucking die, all I could think was, I don't want to go.
And that makes
That's
me...
a drastic improvement.
Yeah, because that makes me dramatically happy. Because that has not always been the case for you. It's not always been the case for me.
I told you yesterday, you were the only thing that I had tethering me to the fucking planet. Like, because I didn't want to think about the kids, because I knew if I thought about the kids, then I'd have a whole nother existential crisis.
Whole other can of worms.
And you were the only person that my mind kept going to. Like, if you're trying to stay here, focus. Focus on her. Focus on what she's saying. Focus on her touching. Like, you touch her. Like, all of these, like, different things were going through my head, but they were all centered around you. Every single one of them. And that sounds codependent, or how it sounds, or what the fuck ever, but I don't care anymore. It's like, I've spent so much time trying to figure myself out that I lost myself in it. Some fucking how. How the fuck is that possible?
I don't know, but I get it. I understand.
But you were the whole reason I came back. It felt like that's how it feels to me. And not that I don't want to be here for the kids or anything like that, but like I said, I didn't want to think about them because I didn't need. Oh fuck. I didn't need that part of an existential crisis worrying about my kids at that moment.
And that's
because that would have just
that would have made everything so much worse. So much worse. That, and it's not like it's not like they were in any danger. So you not thinking about them in that moment, I think, is very justified.
You weren't either.
I'm an adult. Like, I'm not a child, and I'm not one of your children. You know what I mean? So it's, I think it's a little bit different. But I do think that maybe there are some changes that we need to make in life in general. Small ones, not anything like
The only conclusion that I can come to is that I've been too fucking hippie lately. And I don't mean that like I need to stop all of that, but there needs to be a balance. And I'm fucking Star Wars. I've been unbalanced for so fucking long because I was on one side of it and then the pendulum swung and I was on the exact opposite side of it.
so overcorrection.
I guess.
Maybe.
But I didn't realize that's what I was doing.
And that's like
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I knew the changes that I was making and I was happy with them.
Yes.
But I didn't realize that I was purposefully ignoring the other side. And I don't know that I was, but that's what it feels like right now.
Yeah. And I can see why you would come to that conclusion. And maybe I don't know. But maybe because you wanted that that part so bad, maybe. Cuz I know that
I just wanted peace. Like
and
that's it. Like
yeah.
I've just wanted peace my entire life and I thought that I had found it. And then this shit happens and it makes me realize it's like you fucking went the other way. All the shit you complain about people overcorrecting and the right doesn't understand the left, but the left is just as bad as the right and all of that shit in the extremes, obviously. Like, that's what you did. That's what you just did. You went from being the cynical, borderline violent asshole to being the free love, peace, and light motherfucker with no in between.
Yeah. And
you just disregarded all of that about yourself.
I think we lightly touched on that in a conversation that you and I were having. Something about you being upset or sad or angry or something like that. And you were like, I thought it was past that. And I was trying to maybe get you to see that it's okay for both to happen, like the negative emotions.
But see, it seems like I pushed all of that out.
Maybe.
Because I have forgotten the person that I was to a certain extent. And it's like, yes, I own it. No, it's not. Because it makes me lose that perspective. I'm not acknowledging a part of me that exists.
That's fair.
Just because it's not an active part doesn't mean that.
But I also think you don't need to acknowledge it every day, all day. Like, I don't think.
I'm not saying that.
And
I'm saying it like whenever it comes up, I'm immediately trying to quell it and trying to move on instead of doing what I tell you to do. Sit in the shit. Like, I don't have to act out. I don't have to yell at you. I don't have to berate you or fight with you or anything like that.
Right.
To acknowledge it. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Because that's never fucking happening again. I will not let that happen again. Especially after this past fucking weekend. No.
Sorry, it tugged on.
No, that's why it
the
threw
look on
me
your
off,
face. You're like.
But I don't know. I feel like I've been living in this blissful fucking ignorance. Where I just like, yeah, everything's fucking sunshine and rainbows and we ain't got to worry about anything and everything's going to be taken care of and da-da-da-da-da. And
I think you do need to keep a lot of that, but
what good has it done me to just be that? You see my point? Like, I'm not saying that I need to go back to the way that I was because me being happy is so much more important to me right now.
I agree with that.
But I need to find the balance with it.
Yeah.
I have to. Because if I don't, it's not going to go well. Clearly.
And I can understand wanting to, believe me, I know just wanting things to be okay and for everything to be all right is a big want of mine as well. And having to do the hard stuff and dealing with hard things especially recently, I don't want to do it. I don't want to. And I sound like a giant child when I say it, and I'm okay with that. So I understand just wanting things to be okay. I completely understand that. But I don't want you to think that the negative automatically makes you who you were. Like if you get angry or irritated or anything like that, I don't want you to think that it automatically makes you
No, the action is what makes
right.
me who I was. And I think I know the difference now. I hope I know the fucking difference.
Because I can tell you from someone who has watched your progress that who you were then is not who you are now. Regardless of like super positivity or not. Like that's there are changes and reactions are different.
But and I see glimpses of it in my past because I was trying to do that. But the shit that I was saying at the time didn't match the way that I was living. Because I see shit pop up on Facebook and I could see where it was like I was trying to get there.
Yeah. But we had and still have so many other things to process and deal with, and I know I do, just in life in general. And like you were telling me the other day, you know, just because you hit a certain level, there's no being done. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I know that like on Saturday you were talking about being past this, and it's like, wait, hold on. You just got done telling me that there's no being done.
And you always tell me how much further ahead I am of you than. So subconsciously that probably came into play. And I'm not blaming that on you, obviously. I'm just saying that there could have been something in there where it's like, no, you're supposed to be past this. And I know it doesn't matter. I know that there's going to be regression, and I say that all the fucking time, but whenever it happens to that fucking level where I feel like every time I blacked out drunk at the same time, and every negative thing that I've thought that I pushed to the side, and I felt every single one of them coming up simultaneously, it's like, and I'm not talking about recently, I'm talking about way the fuck. I'm not even talking about any time now.
Yeah.
And it...
Well, to be fair, you haven't been blackout drunk in
5 years.
However long.
Whatever the fuck it was. The week before Mandy and Gabriel got married. That was the last time I was blackout drunk.
Wow.
Thank fuck.
Yeah. 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 And, you know, I don't like talking about the past at all. Well, for multiple reasons. One, I don't like to relive the shit. And two, I don't like to make it... I don't want to make anybody feel like I'm throwing anything in their face.
I haven't felt like that in a long time. Where you were throwing it in my face.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't know if I actually felt that or if I was just lashing out because I was all fucked up. I don't know.
You could have felt that I was throwing something in your face.
I'm just saying I'm not ruling out anything.
That's fair. But who you were, and I do have to treat past you and now you kind of like they're two different people. Because they are. Like, you from 5 years ago and you now, or you 10 years ago and you now. Each one has been different. But I really don't. I hope, and I don't think it will. I really hope that this experience doesn't make you feel like you have accomplished zero, or that it's been very little, or because as someone who has experienced before you and you now,
You're the only one that's seen all of it. I'm not joking, because everybody else only got a glimpse into it. Even the people I was with,
yeah,
like they couldn't see past the negative shit. And I'm not arguing that it wasn't deserved. I'm just saying that for some reason, even at my darkest, you still see the potential somehow. And
I do.
that's like, that was another one of the things that came up on Saturday. It's just like, I don't know how you do that. I think I said I don't know why you do that.
Oh yes,
Because
yeah, that's
so
what
many
you said.
people have left for so much less.
Because I
Or
fucking
told
love
me
you.
to fuck off, or treated me like
Oh,
shit,
shit.
and
Did it again.
whatever.
Yeah, it's well, yes, I love you. That is the main part of it. But then it goes into, and we did talk about this, where it's like, how much time, how much bullshit have I dealt with? How much time have I put in? No one else gets those benefits, but I do love you.
And I agree with that. Like, I'm stubborn as fuck, because I
Yeah.
was the one that told you that.
Yes.
Like, I've put in too much fucking time and effort. Why the fuck would I go anywhere else? And I'm not saying that, like, however the fuck horrible it sounds, because I'm sure it sounds fucking horrible.
It might to somebody somewhere.
But
That's okay.
I'm being serious. It's like, I've put in all this effort with you. It's like, you till this piece of land and work it from being barren until it starts showing
Progress,
crop. And
yeah.
then you're just like, yeah, now I'm going to fucking leave. Why?
It's the other
I haven't even
story
made
of-
money off of it yet. Like, let's make some fucking money off. But that's the mentality. It's like,
Yes.
I haven't even got to the good shit yet.
Right.
Why the fuck?
Right.
Why? Anyway.
But just, I know for you, I know for a fact it was scary for you. Not that I know it because I experienced it or that I knew exactly what you were going through, because that's not the case at all. But I know that was scary for you. Hands down. That was terrifying shit for you. Just because I could see the look on your face.
Have you ever seen me scared like that?
When it came to just you, no. And the scary look or the scared look on your face, I've only seen a couple of times.
Yeah, but the other times were serious fucking shit.
They were serious times that emotion was very, very adequate for. It was just a different vibe. And I'm sorry you had, I know that I was there and that I was, trying to make you feel as unalone as possible, but I know you were still alone in the aspect that you were the only one that experienced it.
It was all in my head. Like,
Right.
It's not like, thankfully, the shit wasn't manifesting outside of that, because that would have created a whole nother fucking thing. I was like, great, I created hell on earth. Awesome.
But just know that regardless, whatever comes next, whatever changes we make, whatever path we go down, I've got you. I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the one saying that.
I know. But you're the one who dealt with the scary experience, so I say this to you right now. So, and don't let this take away.
I ain't
from
fucking shit up for myself anymore. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot. It's the thing that I've accused you of at times, where I can't get in my own way anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it gets under my skin with you so much, just now figuring that out. Because I do it to myself. So
You're like, I already do this. You can't do it.
But see, you don't do it in the same way. I do it on the fucking grandiose scale where I burn everything the fuck down.
I just like don't submit the audition or
Exactly.
I
Like
just
that.
don't
That's
do
not
the
the same
things.
thing. I had these opportunities and I fucking pissed them away, talked my shit out of it, or whatever the fucking situation was. Like I was able to do certain things. I had the ability to potentially do other things.
Right.
And I tanked it myself purposely. Well, I say it's not purposely then, but looking back at it now, it's like maybe I was.
I think both of our methods are still not great.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that whatsoever. I'm just saying that what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like I've got to get out of my own fucking way.
Right. And I do as well, but I just really know that, and I told you this on Saturday. Like you're it for me, hands down. Like if you decide to part ways with me, then so be it. I don't think you will, but
We don't have a business agreement.
we have a handshake
God,
deal.
Good luck in your future endeavors. Get the fuck out of here.
I have to put it that way because then I'll get sad. Because then I'll think about like if you were to actually leave me, and then I don't want
I'm not.
that. So
Stop creating problems that aren't there.
I didn't say you were going to, but regardless, you are my forever person. You are my person, and thank you for the apology. And I know that we discussed the apology separately, and it did feel different. It did feel like a different kind of apology. Not
I'm
that
about to say I meant it before.
yeah, not that you didn't mean it when you apologized previously. I don't know how to explain.
You could tell I wasn't lying whenever I said I felt it.
Yeah. It was just different. It was a different kind of apology. I really
And thinking on about it now, it's the Family Guy thing. This is what I've been doing to people. Like, I deserve to be here.
I just want you to know that regardless of what comes our way, I've got you. And I love you so very much. And thank you again for the apology. And I really hope you never have to deal with a situation like that ever again in your whole life. I really don't want that. It did not seem, because I've had anxiety and I've had spirals like that, and I know it's not fun. So
I've had anxiety and spirals, and that did not feel the same.
Yeah, that was a different kind of spiral. That was a whole new spiral.
It was like, if a spiral is going down a fucking slide as a kid, this was at light speed, comparatively.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like instant. It didn't feel like there was any progression. It's like they were all happening at once.
That's not fun.
And I couldn't sort it. I just hope that like 40 years from now I have the exact same experience and I could turn to you and be like, I fucking told you I was about to die.
So when
I don't
you're
know why I'm looking for
79 and a half.
God, why did I say that out loud? Fuck. And the stupid shit is I know my brain's going to remember that somehow.
Somehow. It's going to tuck it away.
I'm in the September month of my 79th year, it's going to click again.
You're like, I'm 79.
I'm like,
going
fuck.
on 80.
And then I'm going to be paranoid.
Well, of course you are. Because why not? Do you have any last parting?
Can we not say it like that?
Okay. I didn't even think of that.
I was just having an existential crisis 48 hours ago. Parting words is not.
Okay, not parting words. Do you have any... I can't even say last words or last...
Final. No, that doesn't sound any better.
Do you have any episode closing.
Like psychotic episode?
100%. No, I'm kidding. Do you have any closing remarks? Takeaways? Anything else you want to express or say about the situation? Or
I feel like I should. And I'm never one that's at a loss for words in any situation.
except for now.
I don't. I know we need to be more cognizant of each other, and I don't just mean you and I mean everybody.
Agreed. I
'Cause
agree.
I'm tired of seeing all of the hate and anger, and that's what everybody chooses to show. And then the hippies are fucking laughed at. And I'm not saying they're 100% right either, but they got a better idea what's going on than the fucking rest of them. I just want things to get better. Like, for me, for you, for fucking everybody. Like, I'm tired of all of the chaos, and everything just seems to be getting worse, like, economically and health-wise, and there's so much negative stimuli being thrown at us 24 fucking 7.
This is very true.
And I feel so disconnected from the world because I feel like I used to say this a lot whenever we were fighting, the last bastion of sanity in a world gone mad.
You
And
did.
then I feel like I'm fucking crazy because of it. I was like, why should I feel crazy because I want good things?
I completely understand that, though.
But that's how we're made to feel
Yeah.
by the
The powers
masses
that be.
at large or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you have to focus on this negative shit. And I'm like, why? Why do I have to focus on that? And yes, I know I just said I need to balance all that shit, but being inundated with it all the time doesn't help.
There's
And that's why I made the point on Saturday. And it's weird that I remember so much from that fucking day because it felt blackout. And I still remember so much of it.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I forgot what my point was now. Oh, that the disconnected part where I was just like, I don't want to be on my phone. Like, I
Yeah.
can't remember the last time I just watched something and I wasn't on my phone. And I started doing that yesterday, and I'll be goddamned if I wasn't so much fucking happier. It's like it wasn't even anything important. It was just dumb shit that I fucking love watching, and I actually sat down and watched the shit
Yeah.
without looking at my phone.
And we talked about changes to be made and things like that, and maybe we can do another episode on that part specifically. But thank you for sharing this, because I know that this has not been easy. Was not easy, was not fun, was terrifying. And I just hope you feel at least a little bit better.
I'm trying. And it's not that I feel
Bad,
bad. It's just,
groggy, kind of.
no. Well, I mean, yes, but not in the way you think. It feels like it's always there. Like, that void is just behind me. Like, there's only what's in front of me, and that's reality. But whatever's behind me is non-reality. And it's like, I feel it like on my back. I feel the tension on my back. Like whenever somebody's behind you,
Behind you.
that's what it feels like. And I haven't felt that in a long time. And whenever I did feel it, it wasn't a good time. That's what I'm scared of right now. It's like, because I don't want to fall back into that. Literally, metaphorically, emotionally, mentally,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't want to fall back into that. Because I didn't like who I was at that point. I thought I did. And I thought, this is me being strong, and this is me being the fucking alpha, and what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
And what good did it do? It put a bunch of sycophantic assholes around me that called me family, that only took advantage of me.
A lot of us have been there.
And it was the majority of fucking people we had around us.
Yeah.
The majority of them.
Yeah. Because if you look at who we hung out with, let's see, it's 23. Hell, even 10 years ago, the vast majority of the people we don't hang out with anymore.
I don't even know where the fuck they are.
No.
And I have no desire to.
No. Not even a little bit. Because I was... I know this is kind of like side quest, but like think back to the end of 2011, beginning of 2012, and the amount of people that are no longer in our lives. It's insane. But...
And at times that bothers me, but thinking of it right now, it doesn't. It's just like, no.
There are very few people that we don't talk to on a regular basis.
There's
two people I can
two or
think.
three, yeah, that I feel some kind of way about.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, like, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my problem.
And the thing is that the ones that we feel some kind of way about are more recent. So it's like, and even then, that's a whole other thing about it. I know that sentence didn't make sense. That's a whole other episode of...
It makes sense to me.
Okay.
Nobody else is going to get it, but I get it.
Yeah, it's a whole other can. We're just going to call them cans. We got a whole pantry full of cans. But no matter what comes next, we're going to make it through it because we always have. And I know I've said this to you individually and like on a personal level because obviously you're my husband.
And we talk.
And I...
God forbid we don't hate each other.
Buddha be damned. No, I'm kidding. And I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast, but we're going to be okay. I don't know how, but we're going to be okay.
We never knew how.
No, we have never known how, but we have always been taken care of. And yes, I know that our life should be more than just the bare minimum and the bare, the bare necessities.
Maybe it shouldn't. And I don't mean that in a woe is me type of way. It's like maybe we've been focusing on the wrong shit.
Maybe.
And we should just focus on being happy. That is the only prevailing thought I can get from any of this.
That's fair, but...
Just do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Whatever the fuck happens from it. Just enjoy everything. Because we've spent so much time pining over different people or wanting this or wanting that. And then whenever we got it, what the fuck did it change?
Nothing.
Because we were all, it's the fucking Luke thing that I always bring up. It's looking to the horizon instead of seeing and enjoying what the fuck is in front of you. And I'm just as guilty of it as anybody, if not more. Because I'm always, what if? We could do this, we could do that. Da, 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 da. Like, fuck it. I just want to do this right here, right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's only one, technically, one kind of fits the more TikTok and inspirational and funny content there.
But that's something you want to do. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're not looking at it to make a career out of it.
No. There's only one thing that I would like to make a career of, and that's audio books, narration, and voice work and stuff like that. But other than that...
It's like, because we watch TikToks and shit like that, and we get something out of them. So
the ones that we follow, yes.
Why wouldn't other people get something out of it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And luckily,
that's just how I think now.
luckily the people that we do talk to are still very, very supportive. So that helps. And I think that may help in our future. And I know I hate to use the word future endeavors, but they are, because they're non-existent right now.
You got into a fight with Jungle Boy backstage, didn't you?
I did. And then I spoke to Vince McMahon. And he told me, good luck in my future endeavors.
It was TK, not Vince, but
Whatever. But overall, I'm glad I was able to be there for you during that, because I know that would not have been fun completely alone.
I don't even want to think about what would have happened if I had been by myself.
Yeah, let's not. But everything's going to be okay. And I don't know what's coming next. None of us do, obviously. But
See, I usually do, and I don't. I have no clue.
I think I'm okay with that.
I'm trying to make peace with it.
It's
It's overwhelming to feel that way. And I was telling you that on Saturday,
Yeah.
where I feel like I've been white knuckling everything and trying to be hyper vigilant, and it hasn't got me anywhere. So I have to fucking let go.
Yeah.
But I thought I had let go. So that's the mind fuck of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I know. But
Thank you for bringing me back. Thank you for keeping me tethered, and for proving everything that you've said over the years. Not that I didn't believe it, but you showed it to me on Saturday. Without, as you didn't hesitate, you dropped everything. You made sure I was okay. You sat in the room while I was in the shower. You would periodically, hey, you all right? And nobody's ever taken care of me like that. Well, as an adult, nobody's ever taken care of me like that.
as soon as you said, as soon as you started to change direction, I knew exactly who you were talking about.
Fuck.
Even if you're not okay right now because
I'm
of this
not.
situation, that's okay.
I know I'm not. It's like I feel different, and I can't decide if it's a good or bad thing right now. And I don't know if I'm supposed to. Maybe it's just supposed to be that way. I don't know. Maybe that's the lesson. I don't know.
It could be.
But I appreciate you. I really do. I would not have made it through that shit if it wasn't for you. You were trying to do everything possible to keep me feeling safe and feeling loved and protected, even though you couldn't see what the fuck was bothering me.
I just knew it was not good.
And I know I've done some of that same thing for you, but I've never felt like I was on this side of it until Saturday. And I know that sounds fucked up because you've been there for me through a lot, but it was so different than anything I have ever felt. It's like it was palpable. Like I could reach out and touch it almost. Like it was tangible to me. And I appreciate you, and I love you, and I'm thankful for you every day.
I love you, and I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for you every day, too. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up, and thanks for listening, guys. Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you like the show or know somebody who would, please subscribe and share to help us grow the show. You can follow us on all socials at thatinfernalnpc. You can listen on YouTube and Podbean at That Infernal Noise or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Please tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.